Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video, we're gonna do a Q&A based on our personal experience, how we go about doing things. We joined a certain Facebook group and they posted a couple of things. Not gonna mention the name. Please note that we are not financial advisors. This is based on our personal experience, how we go do things our way. Cool.
Okay, cool.
So,
I haven't read this one.
okay.
Let me read it.
Sure, you read it out loud.
Yeah. Recently, I sold my house in the Central Coast and waiting for money to come through. I have about $13,000 debt to pay off, plus a motorbike loan of $13,000. So $26,000 in debt.
Yeah.
After I pay all of those, I am unsure where to put the rest of it. Initially, I wanted to buy another smaller and more manageable place that wouldn't have such a big negative gearing, in other words, like
Negatively gearing.
okay, big negative gearing such as my old place. But due to zero credit rating, I have to wait for 2 years till I can apply for mortgage again. Where shall I put the money so I can earn interest on it and it would make it harder for me to access and spend it all?
So based on this story, the simple format is sold the house. I've got about $26,000 in credit debt.
The thing is,
consumer debt.
I want to know after he sold and paid it off, how much he got, because he said it's negative gearing,
Yeah.
so he shouldn't have much left after sold it.
Well, I don't know, but at the end of the day,
You didn't
all I
mention
know,
the figure.
yeah, all I know is like you've got $26,000 worth of consumer
To
debt.
pay, yeah.
Like to me, that doesn't make any sense. Like you've got a property and somehow you've got this consumer debt worth about 26 grand. Like if you can, obviously, if you have a mortgage, you shouldn't have any consumer debt.
Yeah, but reality is not like that. We human.
Yeah. And then again, I've seen a couple of people like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sell this house and then I've got this amount of consumer debt and
Oh yeah,
based on a profit.
sold the house, went on holiday, bought European car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a few people like that. Like this is what we've done, and this is what we would do personally.
Yeah, sell
Us-
house to buy a boat.
Us personally, yes, we sold our house, but so far we haven't actually bought any consumer debt, and we
No.
got our cash on the side.
No, okay, that's exactly like his situation, right? So that's exactly like us. Our current situation. We sold one of ours.
Yeah.
It was
And we
yeah,
got
kind
a
of
big lump sum.
negatively.
Yeah, it was
not really negative. It's just kind of break even. Right? Anyway, is unit strata hard to
Expenses,
manage.
hard to
Yeah.
manage.
Anyway, so we sold it because of that reason. And
Yep.
we sold it only a few months ago.
Before COVID, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So
exactly like his situation, but we don't.
How do you know if it's him?
We.
If it's not her.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Give
this
it a
person.
friend.
Okay,
This
sorry,
person.
I don't
Okay.
know. Anyway, we don't have the consumer debt, but he's going to. Oh, she is going to pay off this consumer debt, and he still have this lump sum. We did it too. So
We don't have consumer debt though.
we don't. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
ignore that.
Okay.
Ignore that consumer debt. We
Alrighty.
shouldn't have. We didn't have.
We don't have a
We-
car loan. We don't have motorbike loan. We don't have credit card loan.
We don't have personal loan.
We only got that big mortgage, and then that mortgage has already been diminished because we sold it, and we got this lump sum of cash.
Anyway,
What do we
so like us, for us, because we are self-employed, bank.
Yep.
We're just waiting to see what our brokers say. We haven't done our tax return to see how much. Anyway, long story. Same situation. So where we park our money, we park it. There are two.
One of them is,
Macquarie Bank,
and the other one is
saving. The other is the micro.
micro investing.
Yeah.
There is, so we split it everywhere, so that way we don't actually jab on it. So Macquarie Bank,
We put majority of the money in there.
so a big lump sum, like 80%,
Yeah.
80-90% of it is
Yeah,
in there. Because the interest we're getting, I think it was like $200 a month.
2%. Yeah, yeah.
So $200 a month we're getting in there. And then the other one, we invested on a small micro investment company, Raise Invest.
And spaceship
And
Voyager.
Spaceship Voyager. We put it down in there because the return in there is kind of high as well.
Yes.
Even though then we only open it, just a very small amount of money in there. But a bulk of it would be in this bank.
Because it's safe. It's a bank.
Yeah.
In Australia, if you put your money less than $250,000, it's guaranteed. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So
Apparently. Anyway.
that's
so-
what we do.
Yep.
So and we don't access them. We don't have access to it.
Oh, you don't.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't have access to it.
I do, but I don't touch it. I just check. Anyway, so that's how we do it. Put majority of the money in a high interest saving account, and then the other money is for investment.
Yeah.
You don't touch it. Do not ever touch it. So we have slightly more cash other than this. So we're thinking to put more money in the investment.
Correct.
Because it works so far.
So
Even
far.
during pandemic.
Yeah.
It went down, but then going back up. But who knows?
Give you that an update on the next video. So next one. Has anyone actually know someone where this work, vendor finance thing? Lots of information about how to do it, but scarcely nothing of proof. So vendor finance is a strategy that not a lot of people know or understand.
What is vendor finance?
So vendor finance is pretty much a buyer and seller agreed upon. So the buyer having the finance with the seller
Without
instead of going through the bank. Now, this is a strategy that I use in order for me to change from my negatively gearing property into positively gearing property. So it's a great tool where you're, in a sense, agreed with the seller that you're going to pay a certain amount of lump sum every week or for a certain number of term, let's say. It's a win-win product subject that you look for a win-win scenario. So I do this. I do vendor finance. I do this particular transaction. I'd rather I do this instead of your typical rental.
whole.
Yeah, buying on whole or
Yeah.
buying like rented out to a normal agent and all that jazz. So does it really work? Yes, it does work. Vendor finance does work.
I think the beauty thing is flexibility.
Yeah.
Because you guys the buyer and seller come into a term
Agreed
that
between
both
the two.
parties stay happy with it.
Correct. And you don't really require
To have a
like
bank
a
loan,
third,
right?
yeah, a third party, which is the bank. Usually, a traditional way, you get a certain amount of deposit, then you go to the bank, get a mortgage, and then you get a house. Typical scenario. Whereas this, why do you have to go to the bank? Why don't you just go buyer and seller? Why don't you just meet?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do, and I kind of like it because it minimizes a lot of stress involved. Yeah, it minimizes a lot of stress on your end.
Yeah, and well, it depends on a buyer or seller.
Yeah.
Right? As a buyer, you can have less deposit.
Less deposit, 1, 2.
You can
It's
move
simple.
in there,
Yeah, you can move in right there. It's simple transaction wise if the both party agree.
Yeah.
If one party doesn't agree, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As for seller, like
As a
us,
seller?
we did it as a seller.
Yeah, as
As
a
well? Yeah.
we did it at both. We did it as a buyer as well as a seller. So as a seller, well, it's flexible for me.
You got more money compared to traditional rental.
Massive, a lot more, like a lot more. Sometimes like double. Yeah, double.
Depends on the situation.
Depending on your property, depending on your finance. On one of our
Each property is
property,
different. Yeah.
we were on a normal rent. We were getting about
300,
and then we get about 7 something per week. So that in essential is a double.
All your benefit for the seller is the tenant's going to pay
Everything.
maintenance. Yes.
The maintenance. Like imagine if you're on a typical scenario of rental, you have to pay for the shredder, you have to pay for the council rate
Or water.
as well as the water. Okay, and because it's under your name, and the tenant only pay for the usage. This way, yes, it's under my name, but the buyer, let's say, pays all of them. It's not my house anymore, it's your house. So does it work? Yeah. Does it work great? Yeah. Successfully? Yeah.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Not easy. Not simple. A lot of hard work, experience.
Yeah, I suppose like if you want to know how it will all work, then by all means contact us. Send us an email, or if not, put put a comment below. I say send an email because if you want to be a little bit more private, I managed to turn around from negatively gearing to positively gearing. Went from a property that cost me money into a property that's actually providing me money. It's great for any investors out there that have negatively gearing. So, cool. Next one. So,
is it my turn to read?
I don't know. Anyway, well, I'll do it. So, I had been advised roughly about 3 to 6 months of saving account in general. Well, yeah, give or take, you should have about 3 to 6 months of saving account in general, emergency money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you keeping it in one lump sum in a bank, like a bank? I think that's up.
Oh,
up.
really?
There
Is
a
it
bank.
really? I don't know. I put you or me.
You, me,
anyway.
up. Anyway, do
bank.
you have somewhere or other bits?
There to diversify.
Yeah,
that's us anyway.
We diversify using Spaceship, Voyager, as well as Raise Invest, as well as, I guess, Up Bank. It's a similar bank, as long as it's got some sort of interest.
Let me Google.
Did you decide how much 1 month is worth exactly, as it fluctuates for some families each month? For example, in December, school books, December, January, I guess, Christmas, school, that's when it happened, school vacation as well, holiday, can be twice as much compared to February when everyone's already back to school. So how do we do it? Like,
they do have an up bank. Sorry, I'll check on it later.
Okay.
How do we do it? We have more than 3 to 6 months of saving.
One is that. Do we put it down like in a specialized bank that have high interest? Yes, we do. Like a bank is one of them. The other one would be, how do we work out, I guess, our budgeting? Do we do a certain set figure per week?
You can. How can you do it? You can. You go crazy.
Right. Actually, no. As in, like, if you're, say, working full time, you get a certain amount of pay packet per week or per month or per fortnight. Would you do that same amount, like, $100 per week every time?
You mean put it in the bank?
No. As in, like,
spend
to save to have that 3 to 6 months of.
I don't know. It fluctuates. You can't. No, life is not exact number of that. No.
We budget them. Yeah, we do budget. Like, if we'll know, okay, like, say for example, winter, we're gonna go on a holiday. We budgeted roughly about $3,000 for that particular holiday. So we put that on our savings somehow. We have to cut a lot of things to have that money in, if you can spread them. Like, to be honest, work out what is your typical whole entire year expenses if you can. But if not, just look at your fortnightly, every time you get your pay packet, like how much have you got left over? Whatever that leftover, put it aside for your saving account as much as possible. Yeah. Because remember, you're required to have, I would say, about 6 months.
At least. And now during pandemic, I think 1 year.
Yeah. So if you can have a 1 year worth of saving, that will be grateful. That would be good.
Yeah.
So do whatever it is in order for you to get towards that. So, any more?
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I just can't really.
I mean, with schools, we already budgeted. Like, we know for sure it's going to be X amount of dollars.
So normally, how we budget is we do that whole year first, because you have this up and down, and how many holidays you want to go. Sometimes we just want to go random travel because we have this money. We didn't really put it, saving money in here, or no, we don't. We just put all the money in saving. If we have extra cash or in our transaction account, we'll do something else as a family.
As a treat, like a neat.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be focused on it so much, like it makes you stressed out to get that side saving money.
We can't.
Sometimes, like, have a milestone as you go, like, all right, then, so now I've got, your goal may be $500 on your saving. Once you get that, then treat yourself. We do that.
Yes, correct.
So, after a while, because if you just keep on focusing on that, getting it up to 1 year or 6 months or something, sometimes it can be a burden. You get a lot cautious, stress you out, and go, is it really worth for me spending this amount of money? So
for us, we look at the big picture.
Yeah.
Maybe every month or every season. Oh, is our money growing? Okay, it is growing.
That's where we're at now. Like
Yeah.
I looked at my bank account a couple of days ago.
Sometimes I just okay, I'll tally up all the money that we have, and he's whoa.
Okay, great.
Right? Yeah.
Great. So
We have that. What do we do? Keep saving.
keep saving. Yeah, don't do anything different.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't buy a boat.
Yeah, we don't buy a boat. We don't buy anything fancy. We drive a cheap car.
Yeah.
We go
Practical.
Yeah.
Practical. Family practical car.
We go to a restaurant maybe once a month. That's just a treat.
Depends on whenever we want.
Yeah, actually depending during this pandemic,
Yeah.
like I think a couple of days ago was the first time that we actually went to a restaurant. But yeah, we don't really eat out often. But yeah, 3 to 6 months minimum, yes. If you can do 1 year.
Yeah, minimum 6 months.
Because sometimes, like we had a friend that I think they had an accident at work. Yes, they got some money from compensation, but imagine if you can't work for a year or two and you don't get any compensation. What do you do? Anyway, so hopefully that will help.
Yep.
Don't forget to subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, send us an email direct.
Thank you. See you
Peace.
next time.
Bye.